Hey guys, welcome back to this video cast. Now in this video, I'd like to talk about the subject of how you can deal with negative energy. So that really means, this was actually requested on my Facebook and Twitter page when I put a question out of how can I answer your questions. This is one of them. Lots of people liked it and said yes, they'd like to know about it too. How they deal with negative energies. Now to me this means like people in your life, people who have issues or people who have projecting certain energies on you, and how that perception of that person has an effect on you from their behavior. So here's how we're going to work it. When we think about this, and I deal with this a lot. If you consider that I work with a lot of people who have issues. Now, some people who have issues can actually be quite resentful, quite passive-aggressive. Some people can be really wanting to change but have this negative depression or anxiety, and I completely understand that by their experience. So here's how I personally deal with things, because I get used to it, and I'm used to it. And to be honest, I'm very much, I'm trying to think of the right way of saying the word. Is it emphatic? You know what I'm saying, that I'm very much in tune with people's emotions, and I really do get and feel what people feel. So that is just how I'm wired, really. Whether it's because, although I've realized I've had it since a young age, but doing what I do means that I'm more in touch with the subtle things that people give off, and I'm very acutely aware of people's energies. So we need to be able to still be in a resourceful state when it comes to working with people or being around people, because this could be our family members, this could be our work colleagues, this could be our friends, and it's not always possible to say, wow, that's it, I'm going to cut them out of my life. Now, sometimes that might be the case. Say if you're in an abusive relationship, or you have abusive friends, or people are so negative and are not changing despite your help, and it's just something that they don't want to deal with, you've got to sometimes look after yourself. I'm not saying that's always the case. I always believe in trying to help people, but you've also got to be quite serious about looking after yourself. But that's another subject, really, and I really believe in helping all those in our environment, and that's just what I do, and that's how I help people. So I'm not saying to turn away people who are negative in your life. But we still need to be able to develop coping mechanisms, and even more than that, not coping, but thriving mechanisms that allows you to be resourceful no matter where you are. And this could be in any situation, with anyone for that matter. How can you deal with that boss? How can you deal with your neighbor? How can you deal with your partner, your friends, your colleagues, whoever it is? How can we be and remain resourceful? So another side question to this is, well, how can we also change that person? So let's deal with that first. People sometimes want to change people who are negative, and I really believe that's a good thing, and that's what I aspire to do myself. One of the best ways to kind of help people who have a negative energy is that they're usually locked in their own world by having their own issues. They have their own stuff going on, and they're projecting this negative energy. Now usually, because that's their reality, they have no other option as to act and react in that way. That's what they're used to. That is who they have become because of life and life situations. So the best way to change people as a starting point, and also to be able to deal with things resourcefully, is to be the change you want to see in them. If you think of Gandhi's quote, be the change you want to see in the world, what does that really mean? Well, let's put it into this context. Be the change you want to see in that person. Show them, because in their present life, they do not have the evidence as to how they can live a happy life, or how to be a certain way in life. But if you can inspire them, they will aspire to be happy. People are just usually looking for that opportunity, but they're just clouded by what they're seeing, by their own beliefs, their own attitudes, their own values, all those things. But when you give them an example of how they can be different, by you being the example, you will change how they react to you. So that is my key. When I'm working with people, I don't match their emotional state. I put myself in the most abundant, most positive, most loving state that I possibly can, that shows the people I'm working with that they can do this as well. It becomes infectious. It's like when you smile at someone, they smile back. So imagine what you're giving off in your physiology if you're projecting good, loving thoughts. And you yourself are aspiring to be the change you want to see in them. So if you want them to be more kind, you be more kind. If you want them to show more love to you, you show love. So be the change you want to see in the person. To me, that is the best way that we're going to grow together. We're going to help people in the world, because that is the way things go. It just comes imprinted on them, and they see a new evidence. So you're really giving them an example of how they can be different. This can take time, of course, because they've been programmed to be a certain way, maybe, through their life experience. But the more you be the change you want to see in them, they will have the example of how they can be different. So that's my first step when it comes to dealing with negative energies, to be the change you want to see in them. The other key thing is to be able to own your environment, because when I go into a training seminar, for example, I go into that room and it becomes my territory. It becomes my space and my energy is projected there. That is just my psychology. I go into the environment and I project who I wish to be in that environment. So, and you'll have experience of this. When you've walked into a room, you feel a sense of energy there, because people are projecting their energy in every aspect. They're kind of putting everything out there. But when you begin to put yourself in that situation, like when I put myself in a training situation or with a client, I project my energy around them. It sounds a little bit woo-la-la, I get that. But here's the thing. It changes your emotional state completely, because now you're owning the situation. If you're in a bar and you wanted to meet someone, but you're a little bit anxious, you project your energy there. You put your energy of how you'd like it to be. You make that environment your own. So when you're dealing with negative energy, you want to put your own energy in there rather than being dictated by energy. So you want to be able to project it. You want to kind of breathe life into it, and you can do that visually in your mind by projecting that energy there. You can do it just through your kinesthetic, your feelings, or just pushing it out there. And you can even use your internal dialogue. Say, this is my space. I'm going to be resourceful. The other key thing is when it can come to visualization, and there's even work for things like allergies as well. So there's actually biological protection from negative things. When I've worked with people with allergies, we can let go of it within 5-10 minutes by just doing an example of this. But imagine you're going in a situation. Imagine you do have a force field around you. And as you see that force field in your mind, imagine them putting their energy towards you, that negative energy. First of all, you want to be able to put your energy out there and be the change you want to see in them. But also imagine this energy there, and notice how that energy just hits and falls away. So when they begin to say those things, you can remain in a core, solid state, because you've got to remain grounded. And the more you visualize that, you're actually getting your unconscious mind to develop a new association. So not only are you being the change you want to see in them, not only are you able to project your energy in that environment, but also you're protected as well. So therefore, you're getting your unconscious mind wired up to be able to see and perceive and act and react in a more safer way. That's a great way, or great 3 steps of how you can remain completely core, being completely grounded in your environment. And the other thing is, and it's pretty hardcore, you've got to take responsibility for this as well. You've got to take responsibility for your own emotional state and say to yourself on the inside that this is who I am. I'm going to be core, strong, confident in who I am, no matter where I am. My environment becomes my own. I'm projecting that energy there. And you also must realize that people's issues are not your own. Their projections is nothing about you. We are in life take things so personally, and we automatically think, well, it's all about me. Because when you think about it, life is subjective. You're the only person in your life, ultimately, because you're perceiving it. You're not looking for other people's perceptions. So you have to take responsibility for your way of being in the world, and really being that core strength to realize that that's their stuff. You can inspire them by being an example of how they can be. So that gives them the new reality. You can project your energy into the environment. You can put your protection there. And like I said, it sounds woo-la-la, but it's just psychological. It gives you, and more importantly, your unconscious mind, a strategy that allows you to feel comfortable. And you know this as well if you listen to my stuff. Wherever you put your mind, your body begins to follow. So the more times you visualize this, your body becomes stronger. The neural networks begin to fire off far, far quicker. Your new neuroassociations begin to develop. So when you go there in your mind and you visualize this, you are telling your body that this is how I'm going to be. All athletes do this, the successful ones anyway. They own their environment. They build themselves up. They take responsibility that they're taking ownership over to what they're about to do. So we need to go ahead and do that ourselves and really be that core strength of who you are as a person. So to me, that is the best way in dealing with negative energies, to realize they're not your own, to inspire people and also to protect yourself. That is how I do it. I work with a lot of people who have issues, and I always remain in a nice core state. And that's not because I'm special. It's just simply a way of training up your mind to react differently and perceive things in a new way, which gives you freedom and opportunity to express who you are. That will change them, that will change you, and that will change how you act and react in your environment. So I hope you enjoyed that. For more information about me, go ahead and visit my website, josephclough.com. My Facebook and Twitter, which is twitter.com/josephclough and facebook.com/josephfanpage. And that will give you lots of free downloads, lots of free videos, lots of giveaways, quotes and photos to keep your mind in the right place. And if you're enjoying these videos, go ahead and press like and go ahead and share it. That means I can really know that we're on the right track, and I'll produce far more of these. My intention really is to be able to do these on a daily basis. And now to me that would be pretty awesome to do. So if you're enjoying it, please let me know about it by commenting and liking. So till next time, I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon. Many thanks and goodbye.